What we witnessed this week from the voting public of the nation was the first scent of victory that we've had ever since January.
Let's focus now on the most high-profile race of them all, the one in New York, a powerful role running New York City. Well, Zohran Mamdani's campaign was built on improving affordability for people living in the city.
NBC News can now project the winner of the Virginia governor's race is Abigail Spanberger.
We can now project New Jersey governor. CBS News projection, Mikie Sherill, the Democratic nominee, the projected winner over Jack Sherill, the Republican nominee, three-time candidate for governor in New Jersey.
When the current administration began its defenestration of the American experiment, we are under fire. We are under fire that can be fatal, to be sure. And it's been going down that path for quite a few of the last 10 months. Never stronger than now, never faster than now. And what has to happen is the one thing that if you go to really intelligent, well-spoken dinner parties around this town, you hear from the participants thereof. It's that you talk about the situation, as I call it, capital T, capital S. You talk about the situation all through dinner. And then at the end, when everybody finishes their coffee or whatever, they end up sighing, but there's nothing we can do about it. Well, my particular feeling about that sentiment is it's completely destructive bullshit. The fact is, if we don't do something about it, we are doing something for the other side. Silence is violence. You can't escape that fact in this situation. So, if you don't do something to save yourself, who's going to? I think it's very important that we understand that there are always elements of participation. I'm going to make it personal so you can see what I'm talking about. I'm crippled. Parkinson's disease. I can't hold my head still. I can't write. I can't put records on my record player, which is very important to me. That's my lifelong hobby. You can look behind me. I can't do a lot of the things I'd like to do. But I don't believe in saying I can't do anything. So what am I doing? Well, for one thing, I've got a couple of proteges that I'm helping get college educations that wouldn't otherwise have that opportunity. And they happen to be students of color. I think that's key. I think another fact is I'm doing this damn podcast. It's to give myself the opportunity to develop a voice, but more important, a conversation, a true dialogue with you, honest and helpful. I don't want pre-canned opinions. I dearly want your participation in what gets discussed here. I want your realization of the crisis, because it's real, because it's already large enough that it is probably going to seriously daunt the lives of older people's children and grandchildren. We need to understand that this particular task is one we can't shirk. The point is, you are committing a political felony if you don't participate in trying to save this country. That's what I'm trying to get across to you in this segment. One of the things that's going on that's particularly griping me and dragging me is the fact that every week I hear a bushel of stories about people's lives because people talk to me. I don't know why, but they do, and I'm interested. And I hear from a variety of people, and they're all telling me how this situation is staining their lives. or is going to stain their lives. I'll give you an example of that. I happen to know of a gentleman who's a PhD that's been at the NIH for 21 years. He studies kidney cancer, doing basic research. This gentleman is now one of the lucky few who's retained his job while he's watched his associates drop away, many of them taking jobs in foreign laboratories, thereby depriving us of resources cultivated over decades. At any rate, this gentleman is lucky enough to stay on. This is the kind of way people are living. Check-to-check people have an impossible task to face between inflation and the hitches in income. And that is another situation that needs to be addressed. Finally, the holdup by the Democrats, finally getting some spine in standing up to the threat of Republican domination, or shall I say MAGA domination, because there aren't Republicans anymore.
I can see the dawn of a better day for humanity. For as long as we can remember, the working people of New York have been told by the wealthy and the well-connected that power does not belong in their hands. Fingers bruised from lifting boxes on the warehouse floor, palms calloused from delivery bike handlebars, knuckles scarred with kitchen burns. These are not hands that have been allowed to hold power. And yet over the last 12 months, you have dared to reach for something greater.
My fellow Virginians, let me be as clear as I possibly can be. I will always stand up for Virginia families. I will always work to grow our economy. And I will always put Virginia, not a president, not a party, first.
Victories, clear victories, all over the country. Some of them standing out from the rest because of the dimension and the offices gained. Virginia, etc. But of course, the big one, the one that's got the hugest visibility, is New York with Mr. Mamdani. I think it's probably the most important victory in the entire country. And I don't think it could have come at a better time. The man is an old-fashioned glamour figure, politically speaking. Warm, intelligent, attractive, well-spoken, and never afraid to rouse the emotions on behalf of good causes. His idea of revolutionizing New York to actually make it affordable for New Yorkers, the main mass of them, is considered revolutionary. Well, it's not revolutionary in a country that's the wealthiest country in the history of the world. A country that could afford to see to it that every citizen here had a living wage and a chance at the American dream as first constituted in the 1950s. I think we've arrived at a point where it's make or break. It's talk and put up, or continue your silence and lose. And if you lose this, you will lose everything.